Hi there, Chris here. We have another Sunday, and so I have some more questions from you. This time we have 3 questions all about more or less SEO, and I'm trying to keep my answers a little bit shorter, and I'm going to add chapters so you can jump directly to the question that interests you most. Okay, let's start. How many plugins on WordPress are too much? Hi, I just bought a gallery plugin, but if I want to install all the features, I have to install more than 20 plugins. I read in a blog post that you should never have more than 10 plugins on a WordPress page. What should I do? Well, first of all, you should stop reading that blog. It's true that you shouldn't have too much plugins on your WordPress installation because many plugins have the tendency to slow down your WordPress website. But you have to think about how the plugin was designed, how the plugin was created. Obviously, the designers of your gallery plugin are quite clever because they think, okay, we have a ton of features, but maybe not everyone wants all these features. So they created every feature in their single plugin. So you have to install more than one plugin, that's true, but you only install the necessary plugins. So you keep the bloat at a minimum. So some of these plugins are quite clever. So if you see you have to install every feature on their own, you know the plugin developer has your speed in mind. So they don't want you to install just one plugin that has 80% of code you're not using, but the code still is there. It has to be loaded, it has to be processed and stuff like that. So yes, you always have to have that in mind. There are also some plugin developers that just produce, well, bullshit with their plugins. And then you really have to check out, do I really have to use everything I need here? Usually what I found out in the past, that these separated plugins where you have each feature in its own plugin, usually have a better quality on your page load performance than plugins that come in bulk with everything in one single slot. Okay. Next question. SEO checker websites. Oh, this will be fun. I tested my website with an SEO checker and it found several issues. Some are related to my editor, too many DOM elements. Do I have to get the SEO checker number to 100%? And should I change my page editor to rebuild everything? Well, no. First of all, use whatever editor you like. The only real reason to pick one editor over another, there are 2 reasons. Number 1, do you like the editor? If you don't like to work with an editor, you shouldn't use it. And number 2 is, does the editor have all the features you need to create this specific website? If your editor generates too many DOM elements, for example, DOM is just in the code. No crawler for a search engine, no matter if you choose Google or Bing or whatever, is scanning the code. They are scanning the page you see. So if you have too many DOM elements, yeah, that can cause an issue because the page might need longer to load. But besides of that, ignore it. Same thing here with, do I have to get this checker number to 100%? Again, no. these websites, these SEO checkers are more or less a hint for you. So if you try to crank your website to 100%, it doesn't necessarily cause a #1 rank in your keywords. You have to have in mind SEO and SEO checkers. There are a ton of things you have to have in mind. But you have to choose which are important for your situation or not. For example, you know this 3 seconds rule everyone is making a fuss about. I'm going to create a video about that in the future. That's bullshit. It only depends on with what expectation does the visitor come to your website. For example, if you have a blog post and the way how people come to that blog post is they find it in a search engine and then they click on it. Yes, you should have this as fast loading as possible. But for example, if you have a landing page and on that landing page you talk about a course, a video course, for example, and people click on the next link and they want to go to that website where they see the video course, they know what they are waiting for. So they know what they get. So if you take 5 seconds or 7 seconds or 20 seconds to load this page, people will wait for that because they come with a certain expectation what they will find on your page. And I hope that makes it a little bit clearer. So no, don't try to get SEO checker pages up to 100%. Get the website as good as you want it to be. The main thing for SEO is much more the usability of your website than to get checks in a list. And the last one, image names. Hi there, I am using Brizy Cloud, but I noticed that all images I upload are getting random names. Is that bad for my SEO? Well, yes and no. As usual with SEO, it depends. If you are running a random blog where you just want, for example, let's say you publish recipes for cocktails, and you have an image there of a pina colada. It would be nice that the image is called pinacolada.jpg, for example, but people usually don't use the image search to find your content. So if I search for an image of a pina colada, well, I only want an image for the pina colada, and I don't give really much about what you wrote. So no one will look for a pina colada image to find your blog article. That's what I want to say. So in this situation, if your image is called pina colada JPEG or JPEG, no one cares. The thing is different if you want to be found by your images. For example, you're a photographer and you want people to be able to find your photos, and with the help of your photos, they shall find your website. So, for example, you are John Doe and you make animal pictures, for example. You name your images John Doe _ elephant.jpg, for example. Then you want to be able that people, if people search for John Doe photography, for example, in the Google image search, that your images show up. That's important for you because that's how people can find you. And if I'm going to click on that image I found in the image search, then it's very helpful if I get led to your website so I can hire you, for example. So whenever you are in a situation where it is important that the image you publish to the internet has your name on it. So, not your name. Well, if the name of the image is important, let's phrase it like that. Then this is really bad for SEO. because sometimes people are searching for images more than they use the text search. For example, if they know, wow, there's this amazing animal photographer, but I don't reckon his name, but he did this funny image, for example, where an elephant is cuddling with a hippo. So they're looking for that image. They are searching for elephant cuddling with hippo. So it's important that your image is named John Doe _ elephant _ cuddling _ hippo.jpg. And then it would be very bad if your image would be called JPEG. So I hope I made that point clear. It always depends. Is it good for you? Yes or no? You have to decide in the end. And if it is important for you to be found via image, well, then in that case, if you want to use the cloud service of Brizy, you have to implement the images via the embedded element. Well, or you have to use a different service. Okay, that's all for today. I hope there was something interesting for you and you learned something. And I'm going to catch you in the next one. Bye.